I bet that's loud as can be, isn't it?
I'm unbeatable.
Hey guys, what is going on? It's Ghost here, and today I want to be doing something that I think every single one of you will enjoy. If any of you liked my first Pokemon Emerald Randomizer how-to video, you're going to love this one, because it's version 2. So, what we're going to do is, I'm going to walk you through the steps on how to download and play this game that Artie has created. So first off, we need to download Java. We need to make sure that Java is up to date. I'm going to provide the link to everything in the description below, so if you guys can't find anything, just go on down there and it will be there. And I'm going to download everything on this video, that way you all know that it does work. So I'm going to go ahead and start that download. Next, we need to download an extracting program, because most of the files we're going to download are going to be into zip folders. And we can't unzip those folders on our own. We need a program to unzip them for us. So depending on your operating system, you're either going to download the 32-bit or the 64-bit. Mine is a 64-bit, so I'm going to go ahead and start the download on that. It's probably going to take a second, but we should see it pop up down here. There it goes. That's going to go ahead and download. Next, we need to download something that we're going to be able to play the game on. It's called an emulator. Okay, what this is, it's basically like a virtual Game Boy. So go ahead and click on this download link, Visual Boy Advance 1.0.8 Beta 3, and keep in mind that this could be an updated version by the time you guys get it, but we've seen that this has been around since 2005, so it probably won't update. Go ahead and click that. Next, we're going to need to download a Pokemon Emerald ROM, and this is basically the actual game file. So we're going to take Artie's Pokemon hack, and we're going to apply it to our Pokemon Emerald ROM that we're about to download, and that's going to randomize everything. So in turn, we're not going to be actually playing this ROM. We're going to create our own ROM and then play that. And I do have a download already ready right here. And like you see, there you go, the zip file. We can't unzip it, but go ahead and download your file, and it's going to download. Next, which is last but not the least important, is the actual randomizer. This is the program that's going to make, you know, your Route 1 Pokemon be Pokemon you won't see until, you know, the 3rd gym, or it's whatever. It's very customizable, and you guys are going to see that all in here in just a second. What we're going to do is find the Downloads tab, and we're going to look for version 2.2, or it might be version 2.4, 5, 6, whatever. Keep in mind that the date that I'm doing this video, it is at version 2.2, and yours may be further on down the road, which means it may have a higher version. All you need to do is click on that, and it's going to start your download. So what I'm going to do, while you guys are downloading everything, I'm going to go ahead and find my downloads folder, and then I'm going to go ahead and take each individual folder and extract everything into my own newly created folder. I'm going to create my own Pokemon Emerald folder. That way everything is stored there, and it's going to be very easy for us to access. So after you guys' downloads, I want you guys to come on back to the video, and I'll meet you there. See you guys soon. Alrighty guys, once you have everything downloaded, all you're going to want to do is move all of those downloaded files, folders, whatever you want to call them, into the same folder. And I like to create my own folder, and all you have to do that is right click on your desktop, select new, and then select folder. And that's going to create a folder like we have right here. And then I just renamed my folder to Pokemon Emerald Randomizer. Once you have that open, it's going to be empty, but we're going to want to go ahead and move all those downloads into this folder. So I went ahead and did that. All of my downloads are in here. We have the Visual Boy Advance, which is pretty much the Game Boy. We have the Pokemon Emerald GBA file, which is the Game Boy file that we're going to play on the Game Boy. And we have this Pokemon Emerald Randomizer file. I left this I left this file compressed, that way I could show you guys how to unzip it and get everything set up. So basically, all 3 files that you guys see here on your end of the screen are going to be zipped, and what we're going to do is unzip them. To do this, all we need to do is right click and select extract here. Once that happens, it's gonna open up a bunch of files, save them all into this folder, which is great. That's what we want. Now we have this base colors. We have Pokemon Emerald Randomizer. This is the actual randomizer program. This is not the file that we're going to play. We have our Pokemon Emerald Game Boy Advance file, we have a README file, and we have our Visual Boy Advance file. What you guys are going to want to do is, if this is not a JAR file, you want to right-click on it, and you want to open with Java. If it's not Java, you don't want to open it as a WinRAR archiver file, because it's going to give you guys a bunch of files that you guys are going to have no clue how to deal with. So you want to open it with Java. So go ahead and open with Java, and what it's going to do, it's going to bring up this, blank screen where you can't really do anything on. See, I can't have any selections here. So what we need to do is we need to open up a ROM, and when we open up the ROM, we're going to select our Pokemon Emerald Game Boy Advance file. To find that, we're going to go to Desktop, We're going to open up our Pokemon Emerald Randomizer folder, and we're just going to select our Emerald GBA file, and then hit open. As you guys see, it has opened up a lot of options. We have starter Pokemon, we have Pokemon modifications option, we have wild Pokemon, we have palette options, trainer Pokemon, and base game options. All this is doing is allowing us it's giving us the option to choose how we want to play the game before we actually play it. As you'll see here, we have our basic 3 starters. We have Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip. But to make this a randomized file, all we're going to do is scroll all the way down, up, actually until we find random. And keep in mind, guys, you don't have to do random. You guys can pick whoever you want. Let's start out with a, I don't know, Ninjask, a Mudkip, and we're gonna go with a Skitty. I saw Skitty. Where's Skitty? Nope, we're gonna go with an Aaron. And when we open up the game, after we save everything, this is gonna be our starter Pokemon. We're gonna have 1 random, 1 Ninjask, and 1 Aaron. And moving down, we have held item. You can pick any held item that you want your Pokemon to have. What this means is when you guys are playing the game, if you open up your Pokemon's file, or whatever you want to call it, you can, remove a Raspberry, or you can remove a Rabuta berry, whatever you want to call this stuff. Keep in mind, guys, that these question mark items are items that are like unfilled in the game, and it's like item slots that are not filled, so it's probably gonna give you some crappy item if you select those. So I'd advise staying away from those. If you want, you can select this, and it's gonna give you basic Pokemon only as your starter Pokemon, or you can hit prevent legendaries. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow you not to get a legendary Pokemon as your starter. The reason he has this is because a lot of, Nuzlocke and other types of gameplay out there, don't want legendaries as starters, so this is going to prevent that. So select whatever you guys like. Next we have the Pokemon modification option, and there's a lot of things to go over here. First off, we have switch Pokemon stats around. This is going to switch the base stats of your Pokemon around. So instead of starting with, a high strength Pokemon, it might have high defense. Self-explanatory. Next is randomized Pokemon types, another self-explanatory thing. Randomized Pokemon abilities, more, and randomized wild held items. Same goes with all these things down here. You guys can, play with that all you want. The important thing is the wild Pokemon. We have starter Pokemon and we have wild Pokemon. What we can do here is we can change what Pokemon appear in the wild and how they appear, I guess. Okay, so wild Pokemon, unchanged. Obviously, this is going to give you your starter Pidgey on Route 1. If we do global 1-to-1 substitution, what this is going to do is wherever you encounter a Pidgey, it's going to randomize that with, say, a Bulbasaur. For example, it's not necessarily going to be a Bulbasaur, but it's going to be a Bulbasaur, it's going to be a random Pokemon. And then anytime you're ever going to encounter a Pidgey, or wherever you were supposed to encounter a Pidgey, it's going to give you that random Pokemon instead. It's going to switch them out 1-to-1. Then you have area unique 1-to-1 substitutions, which is basically the same thing, but it only substitutes for that specific area, which means Pidgeys on Route 1 are going to be changed to a random Pokemon, but Pidgeys on Route 2 may be changed to a different random Pokemon, whereas global is just going to be all Pidgeys changed for, a different Pokemon. And then you have completely random, which is obviously self-explanatory. And then after that, you can select any of these options down here, which are just going to, kind of change around these options up top. Next, we have trainer Pokemon, which is basically the same settings as the wild Pokemon. You have unchanged, which is just going to be normal trainer Pokemon. You have global 1-to-1 substitutions, which is going to be, like I said, the same with the 1-to-1 substitutions for wild Pokemon. And then you have completely random. I'm going to select completely random because that sounds fun. You can also change their names, their held items, all that good stuff. Down here we have palette options. This is something I'm probably not going to play with. Actually, you know what? We're going to get random colors. All our Pokemon are going to have a random color palette. It's still going to be the same concept, but it's going to shift their colors over to, a certain color. We'll show you that in the game. And then we have base game options. You can redefine trade evolutions, make scales and stones buyable. This is just, things that are going to enhance your gameplay. Once you have all the settings that you want, all you need to do is save the ROM. If you don't save the ROM, you're going to be playing your normal Pokemon Emerald. So we're going to save the ROM, we're going to go back to our desktop, select our Pokemon Emerald Randomizer, and I'm going to create a new file. So instead of Pokemon Emerald GBA like we have, it's going to be Random GBA. Go ahead and save, and it saves successfully. At this point, all you need to do is close out. You need to open up your Visual Boy Advance, go ahead and run it, and it's going to be right on up here. We're going to select File, open, and now we just need to find our random GBA file and select open. Let's go ahead and full screen this, and it's gonna go ahead and play. Here we go, guys. I bet that's loud as can be, isn't it? Alright, go ahead and select start. The internal battery has run dry. The game can be played, however clock-based events will no longer occur. Select new game. Blah 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 blah. Oh gosh, look at that Zapdos, guys. You see that? Look, he's got a random color palette, and because we selected something random, it's going to... Anyway, let's just skip that. And there it is. We have a random setup with a random color palette. You guys can see that he got changed from a yellow character to this grayish kind of thing, and that's kind of cool. We have Ninjask, which has got another random color palette, and we have Aron. And I'm just going to go ahead and select, not setup, because I don't want to die right at the end. We're going to get this Ninjask. Oh, looky there. We have a randomized wild Pokemon. There's a Kingdra. Normally it would be a Zigzagoon, but it's a Kingdra this time. Go ahead and scratch him to death. We should be able to get out of here fairly quickly. And that's about it, guys. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. Once you play the game, you're going to start running into random Pokemon, and you guys are going to have a good old time. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave comments in the comment section below, and I hope to keep on making videos for you guys. I know that I haven't made one in a while, and it's been actually a couple months, but I figured this was long overdue, and you guys deserved it. Go ahead and give the video a thumbs up if you guys liked it. If you guys want to see more videos, I love subscribes. I've only had, I think currently at the uploading of this video, I think I have almost 800. If you guys can get me past that 800 mark, it would be awesome. 2 thumbs up to both you guys. One of you guys, both you guys, whoever, I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. Like I said, show some love, and I will see you guys next time. It all started back in the winter of 2010. A college student from Santa Cruz decided to pop in his old Pokemon Ruby, but decided to challenge himself a bit. He was tired of the same repetitive Pokemon playthroughs and wanted something new. He came up with 2 basic rules. 1, he could only catch the first Pokemon he encountered on each new route. And 2, if a Pokemon